This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Two things are playing out right now in the wake of the bridge collapse, the bridge destruction at the hands of a cargo ship in Baltimore. A horrific scene if you haven't seen the footage. People died as a result of the power outage on this boat, and it smashed into one of the pilings of the bridge, and the bridge en masse at one time just collapsed. And when I say two things are coming around about this, it's open racism is happening right now, where people are calling the mayor of Baltimore, a duly elected official who by all accounts is doing a great job, calling him the DEI mayor because he's black. It's a substitution for the N-word, these racist shitbirds that want to just be the worst versions of themselves. Donald Trump has given them permission to be the worst versions of themselves. The Republican Party promotes this, calling diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. They call it DIE. Like it's racism, and they're putting a little bit of a twist on it so they can have plausible deniability that they're not racists. The other thing that's happening is this clip of Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary. I still have the impulse to call him Mayor Pete, but he's not a mayor anymore. He's now the Secretary of Transportation. Another guy who's doing a good job, an accomplished individual, a smart guy, a brilliant communicator. And this clip is going around in the wake of the bridge collapse of him explaining how the design of infrastructure can be based on racism. And we're going to go down a rabbit hole of idiocy here until we land on a bright light. That bright light is named Garrison Hayes, which I'm going to promote his YouTube channel. And if I've ever strongly encouraged you to go subscribe to somebody else's channel, I think you should do it because I'm promoting, I guess, what's the competition or whatever. But if I've ever done it, I've never done it more aggressively than this one. You could pause right now and go find Garrison Hayes on YouTube and subscribe. Important work. But here's the tunnel of doom here. End Wokeness is a Twitter account that I don't know who runs it, if it's Jack Posobiec or some other dipshit, but they posted this video. They said, "Don't worry, folks, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is focused on solving racist bridges, roads, highways, and tunnels." I'm going to play the short clip for you. It's like 30 seconds long. But then that was retweeted by this other idiot, same person, same video. Pete Buttigieg says that underpasses which were designed too low obviously reflect racism. Our taxpayers pay the salary of this moron. And here is the bright light. Garrison Hayes retweeted it and said this: "A lot of folks are willfully ignorant of this history. Lucky for you, I made an entire video breaking it all down with specific examples, including the one Pete Buttigieg is referencing here." And then he clicks below, and then you could. I'm going to play 1 minute of this 9-minute video. 1 minute of it. It's just kind of the setup. And I'm going to link to it at the top of the description. It'll be linked in the top comment. Go watch every minute of this 9-minute video. But first, I'm going to play this segment of video from Pete Buttigieg, which isn't even recent. This is from last year, or maybe even the year before that he's talking here. This isn't in the wake of the bridge collapse. So here is the Pete Buttigieg clip, and then we're going to get to the Garrison Hayes clip that is so packed with information and so packed with accurate history. It's undeniable what Pete Buttigieg is saying here, and Garrison Hayes lays out the case. First, here's Secretary of Transportation of these United States, Pete Buttigieg.
If an underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or it would have been, in New York was designed too low for it to pass by, that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices. I don't think we have anything to lose by confronting that simple reality, and I think we have everything to gain by acknowledging it and then dealing with it, which is why the Reconnecting Communities, that $1 billion, is something we want to get to work right away.
So, of course, the take from the right is that, so the bridge is racist? Our salary, our taxpayers pay this guy's salary. What a moron. Yeah, that's what's being said, idiots. So obviously it's left to people in independent media, because mainstream media doesn't do a good enough job of this, to actually lay out the case for what is happening here and what took place with some of the development of certain neighborhoods and certain infrastructure of how our cities are designed, and the history, the racist history, that one more element of systemic racism in this country. So I'm going to play, again, a minute or so of this video. It's going to be linked below in the description. It's going to be linked in the pinned comment below. Go. If you're someone who doesn't really give a shit about interesting history, about the horrors that have been visited upon marginalized communities in this country, just I don't know why you're even here anymore, but just disregard. This isn't for you. This video is for smart people who are intellectually curious about our history and our systems and want to know how to move forward into modernity with an eye on progress, with an eye on fairness, equality, equity, a better life for marginalized communities, people who care about others than themselves. This is a video for them, for you. So here's 1 minute of this, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
This is Jefferson Street in Nashville, Tennessee. It sits in the most incarcerated zip code in the United States of America, zip code 37208.
This is a startling statistic. A North Nashville neighborhood is said to have the highest incarceration rate in the entire country.
Developing now, a North Nashville community is on edge after a deadly shooting.
At one point, 1 in every 7 adults living in this zip code would be incarcerated during their 30s. But it wasn't always this way. Jefferson Street is special. It was the place to be in Nashville. It was home to world-famous jazz clubs and civil rights think tanks. Folks like Jimi Hendrix and Little Richard, Diane Nash and John Lewis. Some of the biggest and most influential figures in American culture and history got their start right here. In fact, the oldest Black-owned bank in America is on this street. This place was booming until something horrible happened. This highway. That's Highway 40, and it was built on top of this thriving community in the 1950s and 60s. The construction of this highway completely disrupted this community. It displaced thousands of residents and it upended hundreds of businesses. This process was what was known as urban renewal, and it was very racist.
It is something called urban renewal, which means moving the Negroes out. It means Negro removal. That is what it means.
Urban renewal happened in cities all across the country. So in this video, I want to dig into the racist patterns of urban renewal. And perhaps more importantly, I want to understand how this thing that happened way back in the past is still affecting us today. And if you stick around at the end, I'll show you some of the work that people are doing to remedy or fix those lasting effects. I'm Garrison, and this is Subtext.
And then a case is laid out, a definitive case, a proven case with evidence and history and documentation of exactly the thesis of what he's saying. So someone who just wants to tweet a video of Pete Buttigieg and our taxpayers are paying this moron's salary and not actually looking and negotiating with our history, facing our history, dealing with reality on reality's terms, they wouldn't be interested. You know what's criminal is that someone who's putting out this kind of work, this quality of production, this going through the painstaking research to document the evidence of our past, has fewer, when I took the screenshot, fewer than 5,000 subscribers. When you got a dipshit like me with over 600,000, that's not justice. That's not a meritocracy. I'm shocked, absolutely shocked that he only has 5,000 subs. Go, please, do me a favor. Go subscribe. I don't even know Garrison. I've never talked to him. I don't know him. This isn't a favor to, it's maybe ends up being a favor to him, but there's been no, please go subscribe to this guy's channel. Do yourself a favor and dig deep into some of the root causes of the systemic problems that we face in this country, many of which are race based. Because of white supremacy in our history, the tough task that we have now of navigating these waters, of trying to correct some of the wrongs that are literally built into our infrastructure. Anyway, please go subscribe to Garrison Hayes. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can leave a comment below. I would appreciate that. Helps to game the algorithm, make it lucky that I have 600,000 and he has 5,000 subs. Absolute nonsense. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. Support this work if you want to. You can become a channel member right here on YouTube, $2 a month. You can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast, $2 a month. I would appreciate it very much. Follow me on the social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, all of them. If you are there, it's likely I'm there at Dollemore, and I'd love to see you there. I'll see you next time. Again, go subscribe to Garrison Hayes. Favor of the day. That's the ask of the day. I'll see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.